Player's turn to ban.
Draft you'd like to see changed up here from the...
Maybe the Skyrat Mage. Just one issue, like, the one issue with Lilgun was they were not starting those fights towards the end. It was Talon jumping in, breaking the Lincolns, forcing a reaction out of Lilgun, and if you're playing defensively with a Sky, it does not feel good. So maybe if they went something like the Grimstroke, which was left open, that could have been one way for them to kind of get things going their way, really good counter fights. You'd have a double Roar combination on hand as well. The Sky just provided a lot.
What is that?
Where?
Top right corner.
It's a very unique camera angle. It's on. I want to sit on the desk and the headset right in front. It looks like probably the best bet. We see a nice little and a whiteboard, of course. Now,
who's headphone? The left side there.
I'm not sure. I am really not sure. I wish I could tell.
Alright. A very handsome lad right there from the side of Lilgun. Look at that, Jonathan. Very, very handsome young man. Very, very good to see. Of course, the draft has begun here. The Enigma Master opening is what Lilgun go for. Undying is the first pick of talent. No surprises there. Undying an extremely strong pick in the current meta. No doubt they wanted to go back to the course. On the side of Talon, John, I might add as well, KP's been smiling a hell of a lot today, which I'm very happy to see about. Very rare to see the KP smile, as I know from personal experience, considering the unfortunate experience of having to have a photo with KP where he was not smiling, but look at that. He's got a great smile, this guy. He's a shy boy. For anyone that doesn't know KP, he's a shy guy. He doesn't like to smile in photos. He doesn't think he has a nice smile. I think he has a beautiful smile. He's breathtaking. Love KP.
Definitely does have a breath. To be fair, he's been much more outgoing. You remember that night you spent with X-Boom ID, Hyde Mikado, Smolcell, and FPZ. I mean, he was very outgoing there. He guided us stream off. He got us through a couple of weird, fun games. Had a good time in the team room as well. Fun hangout. He's a chill guy, and it's nice to see him. Hopefully those styles keep up. If Lilgun have a good game, sure, game faces will come out much more serious. And Lilgun is still a tough one with the draft. Combination soft from Lilgun with Ember Undying. You can soften a target. Makes every stack of Quilt Spray that much more potent here for talents. And of course you can I think for Lilgun now, they're gonna have to make a couple of choices. How much do you really want to protect this first phase Enigma? Like they ban out the Beastmaster, one really good way of handling Enigma's Black Hole with a Roar, and good counter push there as well. Still an option for something like Rubik is gonna be pretty damn good. You've got Marcy Andean to steal from, so really big spells for Q to kind of put around here if he wanted to take his Rubik, which we know he excels on as well. And because you have to protect the Enigma,
we'll see where they do end up heading. One more back come out here for the side of Lilgun. Get to India. Currently banning off offlane, as it seems like. Focusing on the KP heroes, make sure he doesn't have a good time.
10 seconds remain. 5
Still thinking about it. Seconds left here before they start diving into that reserve time. I'll dive. It's really thinking heavily about this. I guess you're just thinking about all the Enigma counters, right? Like the Beastmaster, the Vengeful Spirit both being banned out. Is there another, even the Bat Rider was banned, is there another hero you think just makes the Enigma's life a living hell? Rubik, yeah, you pointed that one out.
What else from positions? Not too many. Silence, perhaps, although Silencer is just kind of dead in the water. Although it could still fit in here for Talon, and it's kind of still back pick, not having to worry about that curse in the middle of these fights. It's on your side. That could also be one way. Warlock's probably not an option because you're running Undying 5 here for Hyde more than likely. probably just a silencer, and do opt instead to ban out Mikado's Ember, which he does perform on to a very high level. He's carried a lot of games for Talon with that hero. Wonder what to pick up. Still a lot of counters here from the pause 4 for Talon onto the Enigma and
Sky Wrath Mage.
mainly pause 4. I'm surprised they go back for the Sky. They go back into Sky Rat. They don't have a clear combination for that yet. They don't have anything like Roar to kind of tie in the Mystic Flare. They've got Black Hole Mystic Flare, which honestly isn't amazing, but Ancient Seal does amp up the damage of Black Hole now because it's magical, so that can feel pretty good. And looks like the Midnight Pulse will take a lot more damage because again it's magic damage now, so fits in. You have a little bit more jump on the support end with Marcy, of course. You've got Enigma, Blink, Black Hole. So there's a lot more play here for Little Gun. I'm just surprised to go. It just feels like past the laning phase and past the early parts of the mid game, we didn't see that much impact out from the Sky. Once you had like Manta styles, once you had BKBs, the hero really just tapers off.
So Ruby doesn't there. That Rubik you talked about, John, you called it. Q, he does indeed play a very mean Rubik, and it does come out. Speaking of Q, Jonathan, is that a mustache I see?
Yeah.
Get your hands away from that face, Q.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
10 seconds remain.
It's an interesting look. I don't know, he's just so baby-faced that
5 seconds.
I don't know if it works all too well. It makes him look a bit more mature, but to me he looks like a 16-year-old schoolboy still. You know, that teenage phase where you're trying to grow facial hair.
I've seen this before. He's the uncle of the barbecue, Jonathan. That's what he is. He's the uncle of the barbecue that drank too much beer. And just, in an hour or so, he'll just start laughing at everything. It's that guy. I love that. That's my favorite guy at the barbecue. That's the guy you want to be around. Until he has even more to drink and, things start getting a little bit silly, but for now, he's sober. He's happy.
Forget how much you guys in Australia drink. Your blood is just alcohol. I don't know how you check for people on the road. You do an alcohol test, your standard baseline is already just drunk.
You don't pull out the breathalyzer, John. You pull them over, you hand them a fine, you let them get on their way. Off you go.
Oh, this is an interesting twist. Dazzle coming in. So, are we seeing a Core Undying or a Core Dazzle? I mean, KP's done Core Dazzle. I'd hope for the Undying, but this is not what I expected out from Talon. Like, Core Dazzle used to be a thing when you used to go Necronomicon.
10 seconds.
When your ult used to provide that cooldown naturally on items, push down, run down. I mean, the minus armor synergy with Bristleback does make sense. And say, if that is a high Dazzle with a Bristleback, that's a pretty damn good lane. Poison Touch, Quill Stacks, and Nasal slow down, slowing down, you just run them down. Very annoying lane for 11 to deal with. It's also kind of a good edge to the TA with Shadow Grave, so you can prevent someone from...
5 seconds.
I'm not sure about the Core Undying. Look, we've been talking about Undying being buffed up. Maybe it is time to show us the Core Undying power here for KP. There's a very low chance of auto mid-root. I don't think that's something. I'm trying to think, did we ever see that in Boom ID? So, should just be a Mikado Blast. Yeah, Core Undying.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, that's kind of fun. Like, the question I have, like, it must be offlane Undying, right? Like, there's no chance they run the POS 1. Because if you were to ask me, that's what I really want. I really want POS 1.
Saw that a little bit in earlier DPC tours. POS 1 Undying, I believe that was... So not kind of playing that. And it did look impressive. You go for the Shard, Echo Saber, run heroes down with your ultimate, your Flash Golem up, just stack the zombies. And with the upgrades you get onto Decay, it's a lot easier to snowball to that point. But I feel like Undying still has this really good early team that you don't really need that farm priority. Offlane is likely what we're going to see for KP. The mid hero here, down the line for Mikado is still fairly open. I like that Little Gun does respect ban the Pangolier. Mikado really set up for them in that last game. I think when you look at Talon's draft, they are lacking lockdown severely. They are relying on some deals coming out from Q, which means for the most part, Talon is the one that's going to be looking to be aggressive first, right? Like they're not the ones that are going to be jumping in, initiating, forcing these fights because they have nothing to force these fights with unless you find something lucky for Mikado. Maybe I don't know. Looking at the Sky Rat, some of these Blink Arrows just feels awful. And that's why the Pank Arrow was okay. It can get a little bit durable. Then the Puck is still there. Into Sky and punch early.
Final picks. Mid lane is still necessary, I believe, to talent something from Makoto here in the mid lane. Unless he wants to make my dreams come true with mid Ruby.
5 seconds.
Really like to see mid. With a player like Q on your side, you'd rather just give it in the pulse full role. Wouldn't blame them. I have a chance to make my dreams come true here, Talon. Final pickup.
There's some weird flex you can do, like mid Bristleback, then you get the core Undying safely and last pick a KP hero. And we have seen mid Bristle, like Mikado has at least played it that we're seeing mid Tiny. That felt like the counter.
Radiance
See a couple players do that, I think, of course, the Indonesian mids. They go to Tiny instead, so that should be our Mikado mid, and fortunately, Mike, no safe lane Undying. KP looked pretty happy about that, though.
Yeah, I mean, Undying pos 3 is pretty fun if that's going to be what they're running. Like, it's, wait, who's... So Bristleback pos 1, you think? Or Tiny pos 1? Like, who's mid then?
Pos 1,
Select your hero.
Undying offlane. Visage coming out. Lilgun does get the cheese pick.
Oh, okay.
Visage coming out for 4-3, Sanctity on Yay. And to be fair, I think that come out is a specialty of Lilgun. Are banned out, you know, the Brood, the Lycan's gone, the TA is what they fall back to. So Sanctity should be able to build up. This is something he's comfy with. You've got really good pacing here, 4-2-3. And this can be pretty tough for the side of Talon, but I feel like if they scale up, this game gets relatively easy to manage. Like, you've got an Undying to buy you early space, Mikado with a quick blink can just kind of search and kind of look for these softer supports. Ace 12 is going to be a very prime target for him. And Q has a fantastic game for the Rubik here. Lots of good spells to steal. Even the Visage, even just taking Familiars can be high utility here for Q. So I'd lean towards Talon's draft this time around, although you can't really count Lilgun out when they have that Visage and the TA on their side.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how this game number 2 does go. Of course, Lilgun, they do have their backs against... We need to win this game 2 to try and force to a game 3 in this best of 3 series. Talon, one game away from proceeding to the upper bracket round of 2. Exciting times for them. See if Lilgun can try to force us to a game 3 here. Of course, even if they can't, Jonathan, they get knocked. You still have the lower bracket, so it's all done yet for the qualifiers. For whoever does end up losing this series, they do have that safety net. But you'd rather just make the upper bracket run if you can. You'd rather not have to go through the lower bracket if you can avoid it. So we'll see what they can get done here as we are going to head into game number 2 right now. Jonathan, quickly, predictions please.
Through most runes, Talon, last player to be killed. Probably Savage. Highest net worth at the end of the game. Savage. First player to get 50 last hits. It's a hard one in Sanctity and Savage, honestly. I will lean Savage. Full in on Savage. That's 3 Savage. Oopsies.
Would you like a side of Talon with your Savage? Jesus Christ, it's all just Talon, Savage, Savage, Savage. Don't ask me any questions. It's just Talon, Savage, Savage, Savage. Those are the answers. Like that guy, you go into a test where they have all multiple choice and you just go A, B, C, D. That's it. That's the answer. I got a 25% chance of being right. 25% chance of being right every time.
Yeah, exactly it. At some point, this is going to be correct, or all of them get wrong, and I wouldn't be too surprised. Who knows? This is Lilgun on their specialists. This is Sanctity on his TA. He farms like a madman, plays like a madman, and he should be able to carry the weight of the team this time. Be that hardcore for the lineup. We'll have to see if they get that space though.
It's time now for the final
Rebound, very nice from Kishka. He'll take the banner in on the bottom side. It's still going to be a 2-for-2 though. Talon just wanting to try and sneak an extra one away. Not going to be able to get away with it. They won't mind too much though. A 2-for-2 trade on the boundary runes. Let's start with our favorite, of course, the mid lane. Sanctity going to be there on the mid TA. Obviously a TA player. He's going to be up against Makoto on the Tiny. Not the easiest matchup for the TA. John, who does win the hero matchup?
I I'd say the Tiny has a pretty good time. We've seen Tiny versus TA a couple of times. You just kind of play with a tree grab. You can threaten with Avalanche Toss, but Sanctity does have good presence early. Meld on a zero armor hero just melts him, and Mikado is not enjoying that. Sanctity is, not focused on the creep wave, but he's zoning out very well. So that's what Sanctity has to do. Be a little bit more aggressive before the full Avalanche Toss is there, and when you know the tree grab is about to fade, just apply that pressure and ensure Mikado doesn't get as much.
How about those side lanes? How about top lane? Hyde and Ace 12 currently going at it. Sports at the top lane. The ones farming that lane is, where are the carries? 11, he's in the jungle right now. Where's my pulse?
Oh no, not
we're doing this again.
Not this
we're
again.
doing this again. Savage is going to run up top now. You see the lane between him and KP. The supports, they are the cause now, John. Pause. Enjoy buying
they
ward,
got
boys.
wards on each side as well, watching like the triangle areas so they can see when everyone walks along, so they can always readjust. Oh my god, this is a repeat of what we saw with Extreme, isn't it? Like that.
Here we go.
And Savage
Here we
actually
go.
just gonna jungle level 1, please no. He's
Wait
just
a
gonna
minute,
stack.
look at Hyde, he's doing a lot of damage here to Ace 12. Not going to find the kill, but Ace 12 forced to back off.
This?
And yes, Savage is just hanging around the diet jungle and farming. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do this in your pubs. Don't try this at home. This is not what you're meant to be doing. Oh, he's jungling Bristleback. My pubs. My pubs.
Why?
It was bad enough with the cavern crawl, man.
I place him as my, highest net worth first last hits, and he's jungling. Savage, my boy, you're out of mana. How are you gonna clear this? One more? Nah, it's not enough. And now Hyde is a safe lane dazzle. Well, at least KP shows up back bot, but Savage is not having any of that up top. He's just like, if I can get away with this stuff, you bet me your bottom dollar, I'm just gonna farm jungle a bit. Just walking away now.
They've got a large creeps. Where's Savage going now? Hey, there is a
There's
fight
still
break.
a ward. They still see him.
There's still a ward. Q, he'll be chased down. Kishka not going to be able to find him. 11 is there. Has the TP ready to go up top if he really wants to. He could just walk the old-fashioned way. It's up to him. Savage will show up there. The TP's in. They're switching. Enjoy your walk back to the jungle, Savage. Enjoy.
What is this? I feel like this works a lot better for Lilligan. I mean, Savage manages to get a couple of neutral creeps, but Lilligan are just having a better time. Although Savage does clear out the Eidolons. That's all in all not too bad. Does hit level 2, you're still level 1, 4-2-3. Yeah, my predictions are not going to be happy unless Savage catches up. Sure, this is a tough lane for Savage. Like, there's a lot of aggression. Oh, yes.
Rebounds there. Kishka's going to find the first blood. On the brighter side, Savage did not commit his TP. So at least he has that. There's no walk of shame. Thing is, where's he TPing to now? Where do you go? Back to top lane?
Top, for sure. Top, you want to be in that Enigma lane, and he is TPing top. KP has a no TP ready, but don't mind having some dying walk back. Musical lanes feeling a lot better for the side of Lilligan, although there is a slight net worth lead right now for Talon. I think the difference is just to boil down to mid, where Sanctity is having a little bit of a better time. Mikado's not too far behind, but TA is at the point where you're not going to be able to try to burst your on Mikado's end. Tiny's timing into Blink just takes a little bit longer compared to TA would say just Dragonlance. Got some early presence, so you should feel a lot stronger here on Sanctity. Should have some room to get the farm up.
Tell you what, Levin's doing a great job for the predictions, Jonathan. I'll tell you, with those Eidolons being back the way of Savage, in terms of that 50 CS. Helping us out. Levin. Any more Eidolons? He's had enough of that. Savage is really enjoying that bonus golden XP going his way. Like you mentioned, mid lane, a pretty even affair. Makoto is currently in the lead here on the Tiny, so not too much to talk about, just standard between these two mid laners. And no more lane switch, which is going to be a pretty big positive. In the end, I mean, Talon, they won the lane switch, I suppose. You got the matchup you wanted. Unless we see him walk back down bot here on 11, he won't. He's going to chill out.
Usually with those musical lanes, the first team to give up on them, that so it's like a game of reverse chicken, where you just keep going until someone gives up.
Savage in big trouble again. Kishka over the toss back, onto the bristleback, and Savage is going to drop. Big pick up there, great setup from Kishka. It's the second death already for 23 Savage in this game, number 2. Lilgun, they're having a great old time.
Kicking in that aggression, is this something you want to see from their lineup? You have really good early presence. Their supports coming out. You want to see them coming out from Kishka, from Ace 12, and starting to get rotations onto mid. Mikado not the healthiest here. Going to be able to secure a double damage rune for Sanctity as well. So a big win on the rune roll here for Lilgun. And the side of Talon they don't want to be fully passive. At the same time, they're going to need levels. So he isn't quite ready to just run down. He's probably going to want that Flesh Golem. And running down a Visage is also a very tall order as well.
Throws now Kishka, really setting up everything across the map, but a lift up. Q wants to try and go for the fight, and 4-2-3 is the one in dangerous. KB keep going forward. Kishka trying to deal with the root. That tombstone is starting to really pile up those zombies, so Kishka is on the run. KB, no mana available for another decay. He's going to have to let Kishka be, but this time around, the Marcy will not be able to find the kill.
Tried to get aggressive. AP just very patient with the Tombstone. Unfortunate that he doesn't quite have the mana to look for that kill. Solar Range is on cooldown, so they are very low on the side of Lilgun. And with the changes to Undying, you feel bad about them just trying to regen back because it will stay in the same proportion.
Wow!
Have good play. Kishka's still very low, has to launch himself from the shots. You're really putting a dent on that progression at 443. He is not able to just freely farm the way he wants to on the Visage. Early timings are going to be thrown off.
Nice pickup. Does find Kishka down at the bot lane with the Fade Bolt. Was 4-2-3 on the Visage, unable to help him out. We'll just try and survive himself through this lane. Probably happy to survive through it right now. As well, props to Savage, John. 46 CS now on the Bristleback. He has caught up very well. He's making it.
Yeah, he's making just 4 more. As long as he doesn't die in the next creep wave, he should be able to find it. Still a lot of poking and prodding coming out. Lilgun shoving in mid with a double damage from Sanctity. Well, I'd here to slow that down at least.
The toss back onto Sanctity. My goodness. My, saving the day, saving himself. Sanctity is going to drop. Still go down to the trap at the very least. But still a massive pickup onto the TAs. Makoto is even going to find the Arcane Rune. Happy days for Talon.
Very happy. And, well, do you know Savage hits 50 CS first, somehow? There you go, Mikey. We've got one right, at the least.
Never doubt it. Never doubt it.
It would look pretty scary. Still, 3-2 start, 1k lead up for Talon. Very slight advantage, but they are getting aggressive mid Mikado.
Makoto, he's going to cop a fair bit of damage, but the tossback is there onto the TA, and they can't really finish off the job. Get a hold under Tiny, he's going to be just fine. Orb now needs to be careful. Makoto trying to move in for a kill attempt. We'll go for the avalanche toss up, and Ace 12 on the Skywrath not going to be very tanky. Meanwhile, bottom lane 4-3 in trouble as KP just going to chase him down and take him out by himself.
Sanctity
just needs a tombstone. Meanwhile, mid lane, Sanctity with the pass back again from Makoto is in trouble. Goes for a refraction out. It is not going to help him, but maybe the meld with the poison touch slow, he is going nowhere. Up down. Ace 12 does try to rotate to get something, but there's nothing he can do.
Hyde. What a Giga Chat in the support. I know the team loves to call Hyde Giga Chat, but he has been showing mid. Again, it's back to the sport. You expect the Sky, you expect the Marcy to really play off the back of that mid, help catapult Sanctity. They haven't been able to do that. They've been tied in the side lanes. So take advantage on mid, enable Mikado to find these key pickups on Sanctity. That big win condition of Lilgun is going to have a bit of a slower start. And off the back of that, they've just managed to start getting what they want here from this lane swap, or seeing Savage number 2 net worth, number 1 KP right behind the TA, which is not what you want to see from the Undying, but he is farming extremely well here and just already forcing 4-2-3 to all jungle up. Using lanes as well on Lilgun. They're losing out on a lot of farm in those side lanes. They're rotating 3 heroes mid, but they're not committing. Looks like just a bit of a ward run from Ace 12. But they need to find a way to get some room to root, because that TA needs to build up here.
fair these past couple minutes here. A really good job of just shutting down Sanctity. With the current map changes as well, you don't have that side camp to go back through to try and catch. So it'll be all about the jungle now, Sanctity. A bit of time here on this team to... Luckily, he does have a couple of stacks to take. Meanwhile, top lane's going to be locked in by Logan. Savage is going to defend on the bridge, make the jump in, down with the back. Expose! Look at that!
In a line of
No.
is in danger.
Sometimes you're better off not pressing your spells, and that's what this is where you are. Toss in, get down a little bit. Enigma, the tombstone, he's not going anywhere. He will drop, try to take the kill. Even the zombie still chasing A12. Get slowed up the zombie. It'll keep going. Chasing, toss in, toss high. What a mega chat. Is he going to keep going? They are diving. Ace 12. He's on now. What's in touch? It's not enough. Ace 12's going to survive. KP, one in danger. Reach is down. Shallow Grave is not up. In fact, it is time. Luckily, KP trouble there. Shallow Grave surviving for now. Disposes there. KP will have the soul rip. They have Photo. Gonna hold them down. They are not getting this undying. KP, he's still running. Familiars are on the chase now. Another to KP. It's not going to be enough. He finally drops. Meanwhile, they're on to Q on the Rubik. Disposed down from Q. It won't be enough. He will drop. Oh boy, what a team fight from both these sides.
Yeah, you're fairly happy still on Talon because you force out Black Hole. Savage just farms. He doesn't die. You find the kill on the Undying and Rubik, but it's in the dying. He doesn't mind to keep up the core. He will get room to shove in mid, and that's a big power to take. No fortify there.
Land is out. No toss back. There are 4 heroes here from Lilgun, so you've got to be cautious. And Lilgun finding a very important mid-1 objective. They do take it, so you want to try and abuse these times with the familiars as much as possible. They will.
Dyer's top tower.
Well, 2K advantage the way of Talon. Again, finding mid-tier 1, the map's going to open up a little bit now for Lilgun, and you are maybe going to be able to infiltrate that Dyer just rather than lane.
Got some room now to farm. Talon wants to build up. That they've been eyeing out for Sap. Only 2 parts away from Gat, so not despite a good scan to cut off this aggression from Talon's. Bishop is going to back off. They might have have to surrender this bot tier 1, but it's not the biggest tower to lose now. With the mid and top secured, you've got a good Asian angle here for Logan to take on the top jump. You don't mind losing this bot tower at all.
Not tower is under attack.
Just go ahead and try to secure. Like you mentioned, Lilgun doesn't really care. Just keep their farm going. Pushing out the top tier 2 just a little bit. For Q to rotate on the Rubik to try and defend that. And Roshan started. You've got a business, you've got Artsy with the Unleash and the dive kick. For PA there as well. Odessa up, but just with the Node Strike alone, it's going to be enough minus armor. It's a very sneaky Roshan play from, but they can come up with it. Very high value play from Lilgun.
Find the first rush once more. Talon again. No wards in the area. Lots of wards out from Lilgun to watch that area as well. Really good sentries to ensure you're not being spotted. Find himself a big objective. Side of Talon though, probably don't mind too much. They just get the Blink and Mikado. So now is the time where they can get really aggressive with his Tiny and start to find some more pickoffs. Slow down that game. Prevent Sanctity from trying to farm up.
You go again, Makoto has a blink up. Kishka is currently being watched, but I don't believe they actually got the vision on him. But never mind, they did. Instead, they're going to try and aim down the higher value target in the Enigma. 11. Not going to have a chance to do anything. He gets taken down. Talon finding a nice high value target up that top lane. More time for Savage to keep that farm going on the Bristle, going towards that Aghanim Scepter. I suppose once the Axe is up, the Bristle, that's when Talon want to get moving. And Lilgun, they'll probably be knocking this, of course. You kind of just prep for the Axe to be up. Because you know Talon will start rushing at you once it is available.
They're definitely just going to look to play on Talon's end. They still have to respect a lot of that burst coming out. Savage isn't the tankiest that he can. Probably wants that. He can now do what he did at minute 0, much safer. Clearing out 2 camps. gold is going to flow in. That is the Ags. And Lil Gun, despite having are not aggressive.
Nice toss back again. Makoto setting up everything as Ace 12 this time does drop.
Now, dying.
Hard against the Tiny with that kind of displacement. The toss back. Makoto proving to be very good so far. 4-0 and 2 is the scoreline for the Tiny. And now the Axe is up. It's the mid-tier 1 tower, I believe, is where Talon will try to go.
They can get aggressive. You can just keep Warpath at max. And with the damage Savage has, it should be relatively easy to rip through that objective side of Lil Gun. And they can go for the defense. They've got Black Hole ready on 11. He doesn't have to put it down mid, though. Gonna have to try to do this without the Black Hole. And Savage just doesn't really care. Vanguard up, he's fairly well protected. He can melt them whereas if they stand a bit too long without stunning. Or to early stun out just to not melt. Now you don't have that nice long-range initiation from the Visage. He does have a raid pack to slow things down just a tad, but the damage has been done. One more little shove gets that tower.
Exactly. He's wowing. I don't think tap here better, but we'll spam the voice lines a little bit as Talon. They'll move up here. I think they understand. Like, there's just no fighting right now against this boost. It's just a little bit too challenging. Leave it be. They'll go up top instead, maybe find Makoto on this Tiny. Kishka. It's not him yet. Talon, they are pinstering it. It'll be dangerous for Lil Gun, but they do have the high ground advantage. Makoto, he's right in. Ace-12's already gone. Lil cannot find the time. In comes Savage. This is not going to be a fun team fight for Lil Gun. They'll lose 11. Kishka, say either. He will drop eventually. Even 4-2-3 trying to help out on the Visage will drop. It's the power spike of Talon. This is not when you want to fight if you are Lil Gun.
Definitely don't want to walk into that right now. And there's a lot of AoE control. Not hard stuns, but a lot of slows. With Nasal Goo, with a Tombstone up, and with a Poison Touch down as well. Like, you cannot run. Your blinks get disabled, you're going to be forced to fight. Lil Gun needs the aggressors, they're just not comfy just yet with Sanctity having to still work onto that blink. By the time the blink timing, it should be set to go, but that's also around the time the Aegis expires. So you won't have that secondary protection, even if they manage to take the first Roche. If you don't manage to really do much with it, that objective does almost nothing for you. Like, yeah, you got first Roche ult bonus. Nice, what is that, 100 per hero? Not that big. Really keep that secondary
Dyer's top tower is
Big 4-man smoke up. I'm trying to get something done. Keep in mind they do have the black hole up. It's just very hard to imagine a good black hole when there's a Rubik in the game. Keep that man out. He's 12. He'll be slowed up here by the nasal root of Savage. And naturally Makoto's just going to jump in and get the job done. Already Sanctity has pushed out the top tier 2 tower with his new Desolator, so you've got something going for you. Talon, they'll do the exact same thing to the bot lane. With that, I doubt Talon keep going high ground now, but you never know. They are really strong at the moment. If we just on Lil Gun, they may just not care.
They've got Bristleback, that's it. They have a lot of leeway to just play aggressive here without caring too much. You have a lot of damage, you're going to have double damage ready on Mikado here as well. So if you see the angle here, you can just melt them. Shove in a bit, back off, show the respect, but hack away a good amount on that tier 3, and you're still here. If you're going back.
Yeah. Savage, he's just got constant resets here from Hyde, and he's even got that occult bracelet, which is like a perfect item on Bristle, as he walks in and hit. His mana's just constantly going up. He's got constant pulls from KP and Hyde, and he's not worried about that black hole because who's right behind him, waiting with the spell. Almost goes down Kodo. Not going to have enough. The Fade Ball will not connect. Savage looks to get now. 3 towers still stand. Is they can't punish. They haven't got the locks.
They don't even have this left, which is key. You get the black hole and pass the Rubik in, you're kind of set. Yeah, maybe you worry about the Tiny pre-BKB. Once you have a BKB, Rubik's your only real worry. That's still a ways off for both of those items on 11. Talon 6 keep the lead up. Still playing forward. They're not backing off from this right side of the river at all.
One TA. He just not up anymore. Sanctity's okay. It's Kishka. He's gonna go baited to jump in there. Kishka, no way out. Is gonna drop. Savage. And there you go. T2 Patel, and I do love that voice line, by the way. Very, very cheeky, that one.
Saw Logan spamming that out last time. Savage decided to, pay it back a bit and spamming it out as well. They could take care of top, and you see the circle being drawn here by Savage. They want to take control of the triangle, shove in perhaps that top tier 1, which is still standing. Work their way towards the BKB of Savage. It's the BKB of Mikoto for really getting overly spicy here. You've got the full Heaven's Output up in BKB. Way to just cut off the damage from Sanctity or even Kishka if he's allowed to kind of get a full unleash shot. Mulligan for their part just taking what they can get. You can see just again in how they're playing right now, they're very defensive. But it is not a hero that wants to be defensive. Heck, even a Marcy doesn't want to be defensive. So your supports don't want to kind of be sitting back, but they're forced because your cores are not ready.
Careful, sir. The Tumbler's Toy is going to save the Enigma for now. Kings are still out. Looks like Q. You're thinking it's TP'd out already. Q does actually have a blink, so he could blink in towards the right side, but he'll be doing it completely blind. Waste his time with mid lane. Talon again going to show up, looking for the mid TQ tower. In the way of stopping Savage at the moment. To make matters worse, he's got his BKB recipe on the way. So Savage is going to have that magic immunity very soon. No BKB up yet for the TA. Going for a Chrysalis build-up. Farm the BKB now, but he's running a little bit low on time as Talon. They might just go high ground with this BKB spike. And they will. Savage on the front. Just don't drop preemptively just to make sure they don't even think about the team type. No blink up yet on the Enigma either. No real way of jumping in for a black hole. Mid lane, they will commit it. He gets caught out in it. He might just drop and dance. No spell still that time around, but Mikoto barely surviving. Escaping back off at 11. He's in big trouble. Savage taking a bit too much damage. Will turn his back, try to run, barely survive the shallow grave. He's gonna be out. The Lil Gun, they still manage to hold high ground. Yes, it's still a bit of a favourable trade for the side of the Dire, but they did commit a buyback on Q, so in the end, Lil Gun, they should be happy.
Bit of a mistake out from him, like Q walking to the black hole, maybe trying to get that spell steal range, didn't quite have enough reach, walked in instead. That kind of ruined that fight, where the side found they still find better trade. Did lose 2 supports for an offlane and support, so you're still happy, but didn't manage to clear out any tower. Tier 3 still fairly healthy, or at least it's still standing inside of Lil Gun. However, he forced out Black Bull, and now Roshan. So now Lil Gun's angle for taking Roshan is also very awkward. They don't have the protection for big team fights, and Talon might just go for it.
They may. Savage. The Roshan to scout it out. Arcane Rune. Oh boy, Kishka. Trying to blink in. We'll be able to rebound out. Let's say blink in. He just kind of ran in there for the Arcane. Savage will just continue chasing him down, but sees the TA and doesn't want to go too much further. The TA is hitting very hard right now. Savage, gotta be careful with a lot of damage being dealt. 11 meanwhile, who'll have to run as Mikoto chasing down Kishka instead. Meanwhile towards the north, they're onto KP on the Undying. Shallow Grave is going to buy a bit of time. KP, he gets the tombstone block in time, but they're dropping low talent. They might need to back off. Savage, he gets caught out with the familiar stun. Force the BKB up and run. Barely going to make it. Meanwhile, Kishka finally goes down Mikoto, but it's going to cost his own life with the Shallow Grave. Buys up a bit more time, but Mikoto has no way out of this. He will go down, and Lil Gun, it seems like they're on.
Out a tread of Black Hole, and they're going to have Black Hole off the back of this Roshan. Roach number 2 with the H sharp. Talon kind of going a bit too forward. They're not that tanky yet, and Savage gets his play now. It's when he can kind of cop hits, but not in that last fight. He needed that bonus armor. even with his back turned, it's a lot to melt through him. Game evens out 9-18. 2K lead still stands for Talon. Sanctity's number 1 in net worth now off the back of those pickoffs. He's going on to the Silver Edge. They're going to have a break source to deal with Savage, and the side of Talon has to really be cautious. They have to understand that this is the Sanctity TA. This is a guy who knows this TA in and out. He had a slower game, but he's caught up. And they've this team fight potential coming out from Logan. They've got the blink up on 11. He can get the angles for some better black holes. Really needs the BKB to be safe, but once that combo is up, you're really just reliant on Q to kind of cover all your bases in. It's easier said than done, although he does have the full 8 lengths up, so probably just a tad bit easier now to grab something like the black hole.
Lane, hanging around. Gun, they are waiting patiently as KP does reveal himself on the Undying. Smoke up, no gun, they know how powerful they are right now. Rebounds in, Fishka, they've done that once we are done. KP will up Wilson and Fresh Goal and right into the last. They might just have Kishka down. KP is going to get up at 11. He gets that black hole, but it's stolen. Q's got it himself. He'll pop it immediately on the high ground. He has caught out 11 there for a moment as 11. He will drop. Buyback on the Enigma. Meanwhile, Makoto still has a toss. Rather blink back up in a second, but is not going to bother. His team wants the reset. Hanging around though, Talon making their way back in through the mid lane from the Dire side. KP will show up. Sanctity. Blink up. Can't make his way into this. Tries from Makoto. BKB is there on the Tiny. No follow up on that Tiny. He's just going to be so careful as 11. But that black hole used from Q, not the greatest anyway. He just tries to use it to cancel the opposing black hole off. The thing is, he's probably going to have it on cooldown before it expires anyway, so you might have one more use out of it.
Turn opportunity down the next few fights. Protect his Aegis. Doesn't have to kind of there, still has 8 seconds in charge as well. So, things not as dire as may seem. He's the biggest heroes. Down, they're 9-20 right now, 5k up. Logan are still kind of the team that needs to work their way back in the game, and they'll try to find it. Alan just farming up as well. Really good scaling down line. You can kind of shift onto Mikado. It's a bit of a core now, a bit more of a right-click core. We approach this part of the game. He is working towards the end, so we're going to get the tree volley action. If Mikado does farm Mike, it's going to be very nice to see.
Oh, I heckin' love tree volley jump. You know me, I'm a real sicko for this kind of stuff. See how that one pans out. It's always fun, right? Like, you get your avalanche toss off, you have nothing else to do. I'll just toss some trees at them. And it does do a hell of a lot. Like, the scaling on it's kind of ridiculous. So if you end up picking up like a Daedalus after that, the damage output, it does become rather with the side of Talon. Little guns. Gonna start pushing down through the bot lane. A T1 tower, not gonna last very long. It's gone. Talon, they'll do him on the top lane. That'll go as well. Both sides, the opposing T2 towers. Looks like they will just go for the direct from those T2s. Cliff will be forced out here from the Dire and the Radiant side of things. Get away with gun, they don't seem to be wanting to stop. Still a minute on the 8s. They want to try and make some use out of it. They'll go onto the T3 tower. Force the defense out from Talon. In come the rotations, but the T3 is dropping rather low, rather quickly. Sanctity still has that 8 up. Will go for the racks now. Very, very brief, but does back off again. They want Talon to back off and get back to the base and just try to defend, and I think that's going to be enough for Lilgun. It's going to buy plenty of space in the map for them to keep that farm going.
Got room to clear out. They've still got, well, even out map control actually, kind of a parallel. Bot, tree got for both sides. Mid tier 2 the last 3 hours for both sides as well. Talon still ahead, but Sanctity is becoming a massive issue. Going for the MK for a job. Great mechanic off to the bristle. Not going to feel great for Savage. He is working on the halberd. He does have the goal to buy it out. Not going to have buyback though. He have a good amount of armor now. Blast rig, along with the plate mail, going to feel good. Age is expiring. can be a little bit of a risk for Logan. If Talon does, man, a good angle here. Easily turned their way. Hobo fade on the spells, though. He's not going to have that option to fight. He will go for the smoke play.
Yeah. Here you go, Talon, 5 and smoke. Milton, they are in the mid lane. Sanctity, it could be a massive target, but they won't be able to catch him yet. Regeneration here by Talon. Don't want to reveal the position. They'll leave it be. 8-12, he's the closest target to make the jump. Savage will spot his up. Smoke is going to rush in. So he could be in now. It's trying to focus down some familiars to Sanctity. He's already done cute the Ruby. It's your Black Hole on that Sanctity in 11. They jump in, the Black Hole's cancelled off immediately. 11's gone. Ace 12 is in trouble. Makoto will take him down. Buybacks are incoming. Q and 11 both buying, but to try and return his team back. Kishka, he'll try to fight back. KP's dropping low. Shallow grave. Behind Kishka. He's the drop us 4. He'll keep fighting. Makoto. BKB is 4-3 now. He's the one in danger. In that zone form, he is not going to last long. Lift him up. Drag him back. The Berg slowly getting cooked by the side of Talon as the Avalanche will get it done. 23 damage. He's on a godlike spree now. Bring down Lil Kung. And it's up high ground, John. There's no buybacks.
No buybacks, no Black Hole to hold him off. Talon have a lot of room to get in there. It's a bit funny. I wanted to look at Q. He's still Gravekeepers because of the active on Visage, but he doesn't have the eggs. So he casually has Gravekeepers. I've never seen that. I didn't think that could be an interaction, but it is. It's two. They can't quite high ground on Talon though. They respect the output of Sanctity and they back off, needing a bit of a reset themselves. A little bit of a very back and forth fight does work itself in Talon's favor. You have to have to buy that when is falling out. His timing's under very much so, but he managed to make it work. Like if that Black Hole was a little bit longer from 11, might have been yeah, there with Sanctity and clean doesn't present itself that way.
It's not an easy game for a Black Hole. On the brighter side, 11's very close to a BKB now. It might be the game change. Seems like they need something of the sort to protect it from the counters that are there from Talon. Some of the Cole just need to be able to channel it. Speaking of impact, Sanctity basically putting the team on his back this game, number 2. Going towards an M. Even more damage flying up. Not that he was really lacking damage, but why not have more?
Just have more in, just go all in. He's your big scaling hero after all. Expected for Sanctity to kind of step up as much as he can. I like the route everyone else is taking. 43 is just going for durability. Great Pack's been up for a while, but he's going straight into the C. He puts it bearing, so it'll be the Aura hero for the team. And well, 11's the one with a route game. He's still trying to go onto the BKB. Should have it
Avalanche is there. Down, take him out. Makoto will take the kick. No buyback available on Kishka. He's down for 40. G3 now under siege. Keep in mind, they've got 2 different tower birds. One on Savage and one on KP. That 20% evasion going to be annoying for the team to try and deal with. That's why Sanctity puts that in KP build up. Doesn't have up yet. Again, Avalanche is there. He's going to find a 12 on the scrap, mate. To send down with finance. Reverse 5 situation. But barely escaping the grasp of Talon. Savage continue working on toward that top racks. Logan just trying to buy a bit more time for their supports to be back up and available. A lot of damage to the side blade down. So Savage, he will pay his respects and back off once again. Very annoying with the over edge of Sanctity as well, just constantly breaking the bristle. But they do have a road dart paper on the side of Talon, and they've got a double damage rune just sitting there waiting for them once again.
Yep. Perfect timing once more for Roche. As long as we're casting that combination. Then go smoke out. Good hand with fresh meat as well. It's a lot harder to cancel here from 11. Q's got to be on point with this Rubik.
Get there in time. Dropping low, Lil Gun. They are going to be around Talon. They'll leave the area. She's still got that double damage. Happy to fight. They don't know what the BKB is on cold yet. 11 trying to Sanctity, he's in big trouble with that black hole. It's not coming like Sanctity. Try and fight through all of this, just with the BKB above. And he will run. Oh, Savage, right onto free on the message. He wants it gone. He will have them gone, but never mind. So the form is there just in a time high, trying to deal with Kishka. Oh, but BKB is there from Kivka. He'll fight back high. He's in the shallow crate. He'll back off a bit more time. Meanwhile, still not popping the BKB yet. Not popping the black hole. Hyde somehow denies himself up to the Roshan with its black hole. It's still not up yet. He's popped the BKB, but the ulti has not been committed. 2-3 does end up dropping Pallet. They love this delayed team fight. Sanctity needs to get out of there. He'll blink towards the right side, but KP's on the chase. He finds the TA and he deal with him. The Halberd is out. The TA needs to run. It's 3 down again for the side of Lil Gun. And Roshan is open. Where was the black hole?
He was just so scared. I think just so scared of stealing it. You know how easy it is to do. He has a lot of reach, so they have to play it super safe. He was pretty far from that fight though, and he had some good angles that could have presented itself there from 11, but they didn't take it. Roche going the way. They could try for a denied play with the familiars, are they? No. Everything going the way of Savage, picking them up right in time. And that's free ads for Q. Can you believe that?
Love that. I mean, I see that from our calls, but the teamwork here. The Q has not ate yet, so we don't know if he's going to eat it.
No, don't give it to me, Coco. No, don't give it. No. Well, we have Ags on Undying. 8 strength steal is pretty good as an Undying fan, so not the worst thing in the world, but you know, 2 spells would have been nice. Q can show off a little more.
We spoke too soon, John. I thought the calls were being nice for once to get supports, but never.
Hey, you're the one who said Damien is a good guy, huh?
Yeah,
he is a good guy.
Think of the axe away. KP will have his, strength too. It is very nice. You can build up the game by the 4-second cooldown. Level 25, level 20 talent, if he wants to go for the -2 second decay cooldown, that's going to be a lot of strength stolen.
Way more. I think with upgrade to Ags, it feels like the upgrade to decay. It felt like with old decay, you can never actually maximize that level 20 talent because the cast point just felt so iffy. With the Ags, just becomes so much better as well. So that durability, the long fights you pointed out in the last one, might massively enjoy it. And look under team as best they can. Just active creepers up, just split push like madmen. They're gonna force Talon to go home. Force the response out, get some good chip damage in the process. Talon gonna have to go with a man down here.
No high ground yet. They're still defending the top lane as well. Like, Lugana doing a fantastic job of just keeping all the lanes up. The way you buy time and try to make a comeback happen. He did go top of their work more. Like, this guy's an absolute beast. He just needs some lockdown from his game. If you can get one good black hole this game, he's gonna tear through them. The damage is not the problem. Savage, they might have their chance now, because Savage is thinking about going high ground. The 5-man smoke, they're not gonna make it easy for Lil. Savage gets stunned up. Kishka with the tossback. KP, he'll make the jump. Drops the tombstone. Let's call him out. Gonna tilt away. Kishka, he'll take down the Undying tombstone. You don't have that up and available anymore. Savage, very, very low, might just miss his ages. He does also hold cheese though. Also has Hyde right behind him, healing him up constantly. There's your cheese being taken by Savage. He's got the reset now. Makona, that's a great toss back. He finds the TA with Sanctity. Immediate blink out. Instead of blind Kishka. Hey, we're going to be able to take Savage, move in, trying to get some damage off. That Bristle might just the first time, but somehow still hired. He's a tanky boy. High, just so pink. Makona in again of the tide. Sanctity with the black hole. It's not from a left stop. However, he takes it onto the pit. It's not going to be a 1-2. He will drop at Sanctity. Got his money. He'll buy back. Off the TK gets Savage. He'll drop his first line. He just did it. Put them up with his guard. Savage to find a way. He's found 11 on the end. Once again, Lil Gun, they are not letting these bot racks go down. They have to retreat. Or do they? DOTA. He's thinking about back in. Smoke though, this could be painful. He will back off at the right moment.
A lot of back and forth. Really good stage coming out from high there. Like that shot agreed by Savage a little bit more time in the last Q engine to steal it, but doesn't manage to use it to stop that channel. Kind of gives that opening up to Logan to get a little bit more out of it. Talon is still in a better position, although they did get back into Heroes, but got a little bit more room. 20k net worth lead now up on them. All in on Sanctity here for Logan. They do manage to drop some really good boards. Got pretty good ideas to win Walker. Some security around Push, but no cut from Talon here.
Invisibility.
Talon up again. 11. Runs out. He will smoke it doesn't break. Here we go. Savage gets the war path, backs up, currently has about 700 damage. Very nice on the bristleback. Definitely help him take that bot backs down, no problem. Tower. Mid lane now under siege. Bot backs. Not many buybacks available here for Lilga.
Savage, he has nerves in the backpack. He's dead.
Kishka, he's there. Two-man stun is out with the rebound. It's not going to be enough for the stop, but they turn it right back around onto the Marcy and take him down. He's had buyback. Back onto the mid-racks, they go to Talon. Not done yet. B has 48 stone strength at the moment with that decay. He is a big boy. Savage, he'll keep going. Mid-rack's almost down.
He's under attack.
They're trying, rebounded in Kish off the park. One hit away, still not down. They jump in with the lever. What's he trying to do here though? He can't be down, he's not available. He's on. Oh, he was too early. That's him without bite. No black hole up.
Yeah, he was too early. He didn't have mana for the block BKB anyway. He was so far forward, but he didn't have enough. He only had enough for a wand. If this wand, and even I don't think it's the combo BKB black hole. Maybe it would have been enough. Very edge. Risky plays from Little Gun. Talon with 2 racks up, 1 rack's left. Tier 3 already gone. They have to equalize top though, but they will have mid and even mid and bot aren't quite shoved into their favor. So man, some time, but the lead just grows for Talon to 35. Divine Rapier time for Sanctity. The all-in play is here. Courier is hitting. We'll see if he manages to get that opening, but Divine with 2 halberds does feel like as long as they disarm him, they could still kill him off and take that away.
It feels that way, John. It's been a hard game for Sanctity. Let's see if they can get done. This will be the last team fight. If they can't win this one out, the game is over. Savage, he's going to move in. We'll stun him up. Try to soak him down as much as they can with KP. Get it with the tombstone as well. They want the megas up. They're close to getting it. Kishka, he'll jump in with the rebound. Onto the bristleback, but he gets deleted by Savage. That'll be megas. Megas now up. Savage. They're on the Sanctity. They've got the TA. The Divine's on the deck. This game's over. GG's called. Lil Gun. They tried to sloop best in this upper bracket one, but they get knocked out right to the lower bracket round of 2. Proving to be way too strong today. They will take the 2-0 victory here against Lil Gun. And my God, do they do it in style, John. They look fantastic.
Oh yeah, they do it in quite style. Game 1 was a lot tougher. Their lineup just felt so much difficult. This lineup, a lot better, but they had that insane lane switching early on that we saw in China as well. That is